YouTube, what's going on? This preacher. I don't know if I got to put it on my headset or not. I found out. Well, let me just go ahead and just do this, just to be sure. All right. So I was getting loaded, right? I'm getting unloaded now. That's me back here. It's one of these kind of places where there's no docks. Forklift driver pull up to the back and they take it off like that. They put a handheld pallet jack on the top once they get the first other stuff off, and then they just do it like that. Ain't no dock. Yeah, one of those type of ones. It's like this load that I'm on, the broker, man, it just pisses you off. He was pissing me off because they don't want to give you the address of where you is picking up it or delivering to. So on the Raycon, I should put, I think I put up the Raycon too. On the Raycon, it just say the city where you're picking up and the city where you're going to. And then it says on the Raycon that you have to sign the Raycon, and then once you sign the Raycon, then you get dispatched the address. Well, then you sign the Raycon and you send it over. Then they say, well, we're not gonna dispatch the address until you send us a picture of your empty trailer when you get your other load empty out. And I'm like, man, what kind of mess is that? How I'm supposed to trip plan? How I'm supposed to find a different route if roads close down or anything like that? You know, you just can't do that stuff on the fly. Because, you know, if a road closed, you got to get off the road. Well, what they do? You know, your GPS just take you right on back to the road. So it's like, I like the trip plan, so, you know, I have at least 3 different ways I can go somewhere, just in case the road closed. You know, I just learned the area, I learned the different roads or routes that I could take. So that was a big hassle with that. Big old hassle with that. So then I had about 2 hours to get to the place after they did all that. And I was like, well, if I be late because of anything, that's going to be on y'all. That's not going to be on me. You know, I said, just so long as y'all understand that. Because you're not giving me time so I can plan for anything whatsoever. Well, how far are you from the place? Y'all know how far I am from the place. You asked where I was dropping off it before I even took the load. And you did the little calculation, all your little calculations and stuff. So, but anyway, man, I'm not using this broker no more. I can tell you that much. I mean, they just was a hassle. I mean, and then I guess because the load pay good, right? I guess because they paying so good for the load, they're like, well, we giving you all this money because it's like it's $2,800 to go 650 miles. You know, so I guess and they thinking because they pay so good that you'll deal with their mess. But I'm like, you know what? It ain't worth it. It may be worth it to y'all. Y'all could do it. It may be worth it to y'all, man, but it's definitely not worth it to me at all. Not even a little bit. Not for all this headache. And then they calling you all throughout the trip, talk about your ETA. I said, oh, how you want to talk about my ETA when you don't want to give me the address of where I'm going? And that was funny. By the time I got the address of where I was going, right, I'm walking down here where I'm delivering. I walk down the street to see how can I get out. Is there a way I can turn around, or was this a street that I can turn on and things like that? You know, because how this particular place is. So, you know, I don't know what they do, man. This broker, they calling you. What's your ETA? I said, what you mean? What's my ETA? You just gave me the address an hour and a half to go to where I was supposed to go. Now you want me to give you an ETA on how long it's gonna take me to get there after you just an hour and a half? It's like, get real. Yeah, I made it there on time. My time was 2 o'clock. I got there at like 1:55, but that was past the point. You know, and then they didn't put all this on the Raycon. I said, why didn't y'all put all this on the Raycon? Why didn't y'all say, I got to wait till I get unloaded, take a picture of the trailer before y'all can send me the address? You wait till I get unloaded and I'm calling y'all for the address because y'all still not giving me the address. Then you say, oh yeah, we need to take a picture of your trailer. Man, you need to take a picture of my trailer. What kind? Make sure it's plated. Yeah, it's plated. What? And then you didn't even ask me that when I booked the load. Did I have a plated trailer? Was it plated walls and stuff? Wood floors? You didn't ask me none of that stuff. You didn't check the see if I had a drive-in or a reefer or anything like that. Now all of a sudden you going to pick up the load. Now you got all this here mess. So I was like, well, you know, it is what it is, kind of thing. You know, it is what it is. So I finally get to the pickup. This is what this whole story is about now. I finally get to the pickup. And it's this other dude. We back it in basically at the same time. He backed in first and I backed in right after him. And then he look at me and be like, man, I don't know. I said, you don't know what? What you don't know? You know something about this place that I don't know? I'm like, well, who's your broker? He go, you know, it's Ultra Logistics. I said, yeah, that was the broker that I didn't use. He said, yeah, man, they did all this stuff before I even could get the load, but they may reject my trailer. I'm like, they may reject your trailer? Didn't you send them a picture of the trailer like I did? You're like, yeah, but my trailer smelled like fish. I'm like, hold on a minute now. Your trailer smelled like what? He said, yeah, man, it smelled like fish. You had fish in your trailer? He's like, man, it's a long story. It's a long story? You had fish in your trailer? Man, it's a long story. He's the owner of. Now, he didn't tell me the story. He just said it's a long story. But he carried a load. Basically, he carried a load of some fish somewhere in his drive-in trailer. So I'm like, oh, well, we finna see. I wish I had my phone with me, y'all. I did. I really wish I had the phone with me, so I could have been recorded everything. Man, oh, it probably would have went viral, boy. Man, they backed into the dock. He had the whole dock smelling like raw fish. I'm like, oh my God. So they started looking at the trailers. First they went in mine. They're like, okay, no, it's not this one, but he parked right next to me. So then as soon as they got in front of his, he's like, oh yeah. So then the guy got off the forklift, went to the other guy with the forklift. The other guy came to the back of the trailer. Then they looking. And then the guy left, and then he went to the office. I guess he got the manager. Then the manager came, and he looked up in there. Then they had all kinds of lights and everything like that. Well, they looking inside the stuff. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So then he leaves, and he go get another guy. And then the other guy, he just sitting right next to me. I said, dude, man, we passed by the Petro with the blue beacon right there. Why didn't you just stop at the blue beacon and got a trailer wash out? He said, man, it was a 4-hour drive here to this thing, and you know, I only had like another hour to play with. I said, listen, it's easy to call and be like, hey man, I'm finna be about 30 minutes late. I'm trying to make sure my trailer right. It's easy to be like that than to, like you said, you drive 4 hours, now you got to worry about it getting rejected. And just when I'm saying that, dude came back and dude was like, yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do this. They started taking the stuff because they put like two of those pallets of the cans and stuff on there. Yeah, they had pulled those two out and stuff like that. So then I was like, here we go. And they got rejected. So then he was like, he went to him and be like, well, can I take it to the blue beacon and get it washed out? And then bring it back? But then they was like, well, it's not gonna be dry. And then they need it dry, and they don't need a wet trailer. So then everything got to be dry before we put the stuff in. And they only unload to 4 o'clock, and here it was 2 o'clock. Now, the Petro with the Blue Beacon was about, say, 45 minutes away. So he possibly could have made it if he went there and then ain't no line. But y'all know how the Blue Beacon is. It'd be a line a lot, right? It'd be a long line. So, yeah, that's the dude taking off the stuff over by trailer. So I'm just trying not to laugh. I said, yeah, dude, man, you drove 4 hours and you ain't passed by no other Blue Beacon on your way coming down here. Or if you knew you was gonna do something like that with some fish at that, with some fish now, and it's in box of ices. He said, yeah, it was in containers that had like the box of ices and stuff like that. So I'm like, dude, why didn't you know you did that, so why didn't you just automatically just go get it washed out? It said food grade load. For me it did anyway. It's like, man, I ain't think it was. I thought the smell was gonna be gone before then. You thought the smell was gonna be gone of fish on the same day? 4 hours away? Dude, man, you should have. I said, ain't no way in the world. You should have easily went to the Blue Beacon, got it washed out where you was at. So that way it had 3-4 hours to dry by the time you got here. Because when we got there, we both had to wait a whole hour before we got loaded. I'm like, you still could have had opened it up, open your trailer doors up, and bam. It would have been dry. You would have been good to go. All right, put some odor killer in there. Y'all should always have some odor killer that you can spray inside your trailer. I have some that I spray inside my trailer. You know, you wash it out, then you spray that stuff in it, you spray down the walls with it, you spray the floors with it, then you let it air out. Man, they don't smell nothing. You won't smell nothing. You won't even smell that odor killer. You won't smell none of that stuff. So they told him they're not gonna be able to load him. Now he was mad because he's talking about how he drove 4 hours. And yeah, here it is now 3 o'clock. Now try to find a load in the middle of nowhere around 3-4 o'clock. And then if they're not gonna load him with something, who else will load him with his trailer smelling like, rotten fish? It smelled bad, man. It smelled bad. I just was like, dude, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry for you. Owner opposite, man, I just spent all this fuel, and then they were paying me $3,000 for this load. I had to deal with these some crazy brokers. I said, I hear you, man. I said, they paid me $28. I had to deal with them. I don't even want to deal with them. But the load, like I said, the load pays so good, man. It's paying over $3 a mile, man. I mean, what can you do? It's like sometimes you want to deal. I'm not going to deal with them no more, but they pay good. Ultra Logistics, if y'all want to use them, they pay good, man. They really do pay good. They're a pain in the butt. They own a lot of BS, but they pay good. So if y'all want to deal with that, that's y'all forte. Hey, go right on ahead, use them. They nice people now. They nice. They are nice. They nice. They courteous. They very informative. It's just they practices and they policies I personally didn't agree with. But they nice. They respectful. They courteous. They pay good. They let you know everything. Not up front, but they let you know everything. Once you done did everything that they want you to do, they're fine. Okay, they're fine. It's just their policies that they have for you to get the load. That's just too much for me. That is too much, because I personally do too much in trip planning and trying to find 3 different routes to get to where I'm going, because I pride myself with being on time for my pickups and on time for my deliveries. Okay, I'm a big stickler for that. That's one of my best qualities. If I'm going to talk about myself, I'm going to be on time for the pickup, and I'm going to be on time for the delivery. I'm going to take the best route for me and things like that. And then because certain roads in certain kind of ways, I am mostly on 95. I really don't go on places that got like, well, 95 do have some bad roads too now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. They do have some bad roads too. But I'm looking at my tires. I'm looking at my tires. I mean, I got all different types of tires on my truck. When I just needed a tire, I just got a tire. And normally I got a tire that matched the tread of the other tire, because you can't have unevenly worn tires. Okay. Yeah, you can't have that. You can't have unevenly worn tires. So I always got to try to get tires with the treads that match the other treads, so they're not unevenly worn and things like that. But I'm about to get all brand new 8 drives that I'm about to get. But like these drives, yeah, here we go. See, I got a lot of life still left in them. So when I get to 8, you know, I do. Now, my steers, here's my steers. It got good life left in that, but on one side, I don't know if you see, right there, see? Got a big chunk taken out. A big chunk had got taken out when I was at this one place. I took a big chunk of it out, so that's why I have to get new steer tires, because that big chunk. But you know, they like, here's the other one. The other side, you know, it's still nice and good. So what I'm gonna do, the other steer tire, I'm gonna probably just give it to the shop and just let them do whatever they do. Maybe I get a credit on it. Maybe I won't get a credit on it. You know, it all depends, especially if they're gonna reuse it and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm not sure. My fronts is 24.5s. So even when I get a new one, like, I couldn't use it for a trailer tire because the trailer tires is 22.5s. So I can't use it for no other tire but my steers. But I'm gonna switch my steers to 22.5s instead of 24.5s. That way all my tires is interchangeable. And after 1 year, after I get these steers, I'm gonna take them out, getting brand new steers, and those gonna be my trailer tires and my spares for my trailer tires and stuff. So that's gonna be the plan right there, just to have all that done. You know, you gotta do certain stuff. All right, man, this video taking too long, but I just want to tell y'all about the fish trailer, man. This dude did a drive-in load, the drive-in for a fish, and had his whole trailer smelling like fish. And he done drove 4 hours. And he own the op, so he don't got nobody to blame but himself. He said, yeah, he books his loads himself. He do everything himself. I'm like, well, you just made a bad decision yourself, is what you just did. A bad decision. That was just, oof. Then he drove 4 hours away. Whew. You know, that's like about $170 in fuel that he just burnt. He don't get no tow, he don't get none of that kind of stuff because they rejected his trailer because of the fish smell. And it tell on it, you know, no smells. It's like, man, you had to drive by a couple Blue Beacons. He said, yeah, he did, but he didn't think. You didn't think. You just did this fish. The first thing I would have did was found the first truck wash. It don't even got to be a Blue Beacon. I just would have found the first truck wash and got my trailer washed out and got that fragrance put on it. They didn't have nothing. Put some bleach on it. Spray it down with chlorine. You know, that's the first thing I would have done. The first thing I would have done. Just got all that stuff out, man. They're just crazy. You can't make these type of business decisions, especially when you are an owner op. You know, when you're a company driver, companies wouldn't do stupid stuff like that, so you don't have nothing to worry about. But when you're on op, you just trying to book some loads, and you just see this paying, and they be like, "Oh yeah, you listen to these brokers. Oh, you ain't going that far. You know, you could get it." Cause I done that. Okay, down in Miami, I did a couple of straight throughs. Even in Elton, Florida, I did a couple straight throughs too, where it was frozen product, but then it was going from frozen to refrigerated. So they was like, hey, they didn't care. You know, it goes on frozen. When I get to the place, I'm gonna go to the refrigerated side. And then they put it to the refrigerated side because the time frame that it was in the truck in the trip and the time it had to be there, they was fine with it. So I have done that before too, but that was like frozen stuff. And by the time I got there, it still was frozen because it only was going like 100 miles. The furthest I went with it, about 230 miles, but it was like juice in packs. You know, it wasn't no fish stuff with ice. None of this stuff had ice on it. It just was like frozen juice is what it was. Frozen concentrated juice packs, like those little Minute Maid frozen juices that you could get, and you just add water to it and you stir it all up, and now you got you some grape juice and some orange juice. That's what it was in packs. So I made sure what it was before I did it, you know. But this dude, the fish trade. All right, man, I'm just rambling now. All right, hope y'all enjoyed the little story, man. Little story time. I'll talk to y'all later.